girls, it's Miss White here. Today we are on lesson 88, and as you might notice, this worksheet looks a lot different than what we're used to doing, right? This is the front and the back on 88. Make sure your name is up at the top and then set it aside because we are going to talk for a few minutes about rules for adding suffixes to our words, and then we will get started on the worksheet, okay? So I've got here on my dry erase board some examples. When we're adding a suffix like y, ed, ing, ly, less, we have to decide if we are going to keep the e or the vowel at the end of our word or drop it. So our rule for doing this is that if our word ends, our base root word ends in a vowel, then we are going, and then our suffix we're adding is also a vowel, begins with a vowel, then we are dropping our e. If it doesn't, or one of them doesn't, then we aren't dropping it. So let's look at our first one. We have ice and an e. We want to make the word icy. So we have the e, that's a vowel, so we do a check mark, and then here we have the y, and in this case it's a vowel because it makes that e sound. So we're going to check them both. So in that case, we are going to drop the e, and we spell icy, I-C-Y. Here we have bake and ed, so we want to make baked. We have an e that it ends with, so we're going to check our box, and then ed, our suffix, starts with a vowel also, so we check the box. So we would drop the first e, and then we only put the e and ed to spell it. Baked. You're not writing any of this down, I'm just going over it with you, okay? The next word we have serve, and we want to make it serving. So serve ends in an e, so we're going to check that box, and then our ing suffix starts with a vowel, so we check that box. So we are going to drop the e when we spell serving. Now let's look at this next one. We have safe, so our word ends in a vowel and an e, so we do check mark, and then we have lee, where our L is a consonant, right? So we aren't going to check that box. So if we don't check both boxes, we don't drop the E. So here we're going to keep the E and make it safely, right? Down here with careless, we do have an E in our first word, so we check the box. And then here we have starts with a consonant. We aren't checking the box. We have to have two checks to drop the E, right? So here, I didn't leave enough room. We're going to spell careless with the E. Okay? So let's erase. I lost my eraser. Uh-oh. That's okay. We're going to move on to this. Let's go ahead and get our worksheet out. We are going to, we are going to check mark which one of these. Over here we have words that may end in e, and then here we have suffixes. This is just kind of a good thing. This will help you on your homework to look and see if you're going to drop or not drop, because these are all of the suffixes you're going to use. So let's look at game. Would game get a check mark? Does it end in an E? It does. Oops. So go ahead and check that on your work. What about school? No. Slime? Yes. Or smile. Sorry, I read that on the screen and it's a little backwards. I thought it said slime. Smile, so that gets a check mark. Wade does end in an E. It gets a check mark. Bone ends in an E. It gets a check mark. Line ends in an E, gets a check mark. What about plan? It doesn't end in an E. Play, no E. Cane, yes, gets a check mark. And tag, no check mark. All right, here we are looking for suffixes that start with a vowel, and we're going to check those. So we have ing, I is a vowel, right? So we check it. Ly, L is a consonant, so we're not going to check it. Ed, E is a vowel, we're going to check it. S, no vowel. ER, yes, we're going to check it. N-E-S-S. N is not a vowel. We aren't going to check it. Y, in this case, at the end of a word, Y acts as a vowel. So we are going to check that. E-S, yes, we're going to check it. F-U-L, F is a consonant. We're not going to check it. And L-E-S-S, L is a consonant. We aren't going to check it. All right, so go ahead and make sure that you have all of those checked right on your board. I had to put them like this because they didn't fit the same way they are on your worksheet, but I think that you can get that part. All right, the second part of our sheet that we're going to do together is, let me get my page cleaned off. Let's see. Number 1, we have ride plus ing. We have 2 boxes above it. So we're going to decide, does ride end in a vowel? It does, it has an E. And does ing start with a vowel? It does. So in that case, we drop the E, right? And to spell riding, we spell it like that. So make sure you also do write the word next to it. We aren't just marking boxes. Number 2, we have care and less. We already did this one. So I think everyone knows, right? Care does end in an E, but less, ul, is a consonant. So we do not drop the E. We spell careless like that. Number 3, baked. We also did this one. I don't know why they're repeating ones we already did instead of giving us new ones. We know that bake ends in an E, so we give it a check mark, and we know that ed begins with a vowel, so we are dropping that E. And we're only putting 1. Otherwise, we'd have 2 E's in there, and it'd be like be or bakid or something like that, which would be a silly word. Number 4, good and ness. Good plus ness. Good doesn't end in a vowel. Neither does, and then ness does not start with a vowel. So there's no dropping even to do, and we just put those 2 words, those 2 together, and we have goodness. All right, that is your work for that page. Let's look at the back side. On the back side, you're just going to keep doing what we were doing right then together and joining those words. Remember, if you get 2 check marks, you're dropping the E. If you don't have 2 check marks, you're not dropping the E, okay? And they're going to practice those words down there, and I will see you on the next video.